Hello guys, welcome back in my Let's Platinum Divinity Original Sin. So we bought some new skills. We still have good amount of things to do in Cecil before we leave. One of them, I wanted to mention, before I was mentioning the trophy for Madora, we finally know what needs to be done for it. I messed up one of the conversations, but I was told on Larian official forums that only 5 of 10 of the conversations, 5 plus, has to be done in certain way. So I hope it will not be a problem. I was actually thinking about replaying, but I just decided, okay, it's just one conversation. Let's hope it's not that important. It's a lot of stuff inside. Locked. Okay, so there is one spot I want to go to, and that should trigger conversation with Madora as well, so we'll see how it goes. I probably, because this trophy is so hard to get, I'll try to create some kind of guide for people. We'll see how it goes. I need to remember there is actually a portal here. That will be so much faster to just use a portal. Oh yeah, we have a problem in here. I mean, do we? No, we don't have anyone that can go invisible yet. We need to wait for that. I really need those. Yeah, it's not possible to steal that stuff. We'll try that later. So, warehouse gate. Alright. So I imagine stealing from here, it's problematic, unless maybe this guy turns around. He does, but then this one comes. Okay, we managed to steal one thing. I want that other two. Alright, that was cool actually. Okay, and I think, I'm not sure, but okay, let's straight away send it to Scarlet. And let me see this, because it kind of look like it's better than what we have. No, not really. I mean, damage wise it isn't, but the thing is that the reach of spears is so good. Because they're similar, I might actually try it for some time to see how it goes. But I heard it's really good, basically because of the reach. That's the kind of main thing. Okay, he was looking, so that's why I stopped.
Nothing to report, sir. You'll never have anything. Is that a good thing?
All right, we stole some good things. People were saying still, a lot of people on forums were saying just get invisibility spell and steal everything. But we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff around Cecil, so there is we don't really need to rush this. But I want to quick save just in case we get into trouble.
A skeptic like you can deny that she loves
Oh,
me.
this is what we need to
An
do.
orc can laugh. When this little charm fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Come now, enough doom and gloom. Cast your gaze instead upon my fair, fanged filly.
No, let's
Who
chat here.
better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators, not pets?
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile, but my prejudiced friend here still wants to kill her. My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? For a brief second, as long as eternity, we locked eyes. Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword and instead adroitly fling my pouch of trinkets towards her. A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me, she became instantly enamored. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would never willingly join up with those vicious marauders.
I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds?
Okay, a love potion. Tell me more.
I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthful Gore about an amazing opportunity that could change my life, I had to act fast or lose the once-in-a-lifetime deal. I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only, and it has worked exactly as promised.
You see what a fool my friend has been, spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a temporarily tranquilized monster into our midst to boot.
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement? I'm sure the effects of the potion will be everlasting, as printed.
Yeah, it will not. I actually know about this quest. When I was playing on PC, if you save the orc, the love potion wears off, and just the orc kills them both.
You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to save him from his murderous darling.
Okay, so as dodgy as it sounds, she could come to her vicious senses at any time. Let her leave. The potion was truly worthless and have been able to charm her in the first place. I don't know. I think I need the traits that are given when I use this. Let her leave.
You would trust a quack magazine from Youthful Gore? She's clearly liable to snap at any minute.
Yeah, like, I would think this.
Of orc stench.
Think of the intel this creature could provide, and if she begins to revert, these men are armed and will be able to subdue her. Although they won't, but let's go
I
with
ordered a
this.
similar love potion from Youthful Gore before, you know. Since you obviously have no special affection for me, I think we can conclude the advertisements just don't deliver.
Ah. Oh man, I might lose this one. Oh my god.
All right, we'll do it your way.
Glad to hear I'm not the only one with common sense around here. I'll do the honors myself.
No! She's harmless! Please! You bastard! You had no right!
No right to protect not only
place
you from
reeks
your
of
own
orc
stupidity,
stench.
but myself and the citizens of Cecil as well.
It's you we need protection from, murderer. Fortunately, the Wizards of Youthful Gore make a revenge elixir that will show you what's what.
Go ahead and
This
throw
place
your
reeks of
sugar
orc
water on
stench.
me if you like. Your foolishness is no longer my problem. Thank you, stranger. If you ever need help, I'll do my best to repay you.
Okay. So no, we didn't get any trade, so that's kind of okay. So now, as you can see, we have this conversation with Madora, and if we kill the orc, okay, let's talk to her.
A man in love with an orc? Bloomin' bullfrogs, is he blind, stupid, or both? It's a good thing you advised his friend to run the savage through. Imagine the hell-sent mongrel that would have crawled forth from that union.
Yeah, so the answer we need to use in case we kill the orc is this one. It's hardly the union itself, to which I'm opposed, merely that if the love potion wore off, she might turn violent. But in case, maybe if you're watching it or following my guide, if you decide to spare the charm orc, the answer should be, does the thought of interbreeding sickens you so? For my part, the union itself is hardly a problem, and I claim that anyone opposed to the couple on those grounds is small-minded indeed. But we killed the orc, so we're gonna go with this one. And she would turn violent, and the potion would worn off, so it's kinda...
Half-bred mongrels. Wicked love potions, unholy union between man and orc. Who can say which was the most terrible aspect of this circus? What matters is that the affair's been resolved for good thanks to that Legionnaire's swift blade and your keen decision-making.
Although, for me, it doesn't seem like it was already saved. I mean, the idea when you go for the trophy is that she will spare a life of a person, maybe an orc as well. I don't remember exactly, but I hope this is right. I really will not want to replay whole game for just one trophy, so I'm gonna stick to the guide. But alright, let's see if there is more that we could steal. Okay, this is locked. Definitely not going in. Sergeant.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtis, proud protector of this house of Legion goods.
Tell me
Curtis
more.
is my name. The Legion is my calling.
What is this room exactly?
This is a storing house for Legion supplies. Perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others' estimation. And I, Sergeant Curtis, have been trusted to guard it.
Alright. Okay, I wonder now if the door are open, if we can go in. I hope so. No.
This place reeks of orc stench.
Okay, but what I could try is just get myself away. All right. Ooh, more potatoes. potatoes.
One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all.
I wonder if I can... Oh, perfect. Oh, still everything. Alright, I can... I thought I can pick up whatever is inside.
One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all.
Barrel. No, empty bottle.
Another piece of trash.
Ooh, potato sack. Like it. More potatoes. Potatoes are good. Okay. Okay, a weapon. I didn't even notice there was a weapon there. Nice. Fire grenade. What is this? Lower resistance scroll.
Oh, hum.
One more sack. Just hoping for some potatoes. Alright, this place is done. So how
One
do we...
day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all.
Alright, that was perfect actually. Nobody saw me going out. So I think we're done in here, to be honest. There's nothing else. There are some small things to steal, but
I can't even smell this.
I'm fine with what we have. There are still some parts of the town that we have not go to. I wonder if we can go outside in here, because there is one part there where we need Madora. So my plan is to use her to do all the conversations around Cecil I need to do with her, and then I'm gonna ditch her for other companion. Actually, we should go and pick up the other companion. That was the place where we could craft, right? Yes. So for example, actually I don't know if anyone has actually crafting. Craftsmanship. Lore master. Nothing. One into crafting, which probably would not be enough. We can pick up the other companion. I think he has some points into that. Hi Brekusus, rating out of 10 for this game. I would give it 9. I mean, the game is awesome. It's really great RPG. The only thing is, even the controls are kinda good. I don't know, somehow it's a bit awkward switching things. So that's the only concern I have. But I guess if you get used to it, that will be fine. Just at the beginning, they are a bit weird. Okay, so for example, so she has a bit of crafting, but I'm not sure if crafting is enough for this. So whetstone. Stone, let's see, and a dagger. Yeah, it's just not enough crafting. So let's leave that place be. So I think this is the spot where we need to.
Cold drink.
Beyond these walls, the dead roam free, Hunter.
Yeah.
Be vigilant.
Sodden all the way to my boot soles.
Ooh, can we really use this ballista? That would be awesome. So yeah, we can. Not in range. So that's the spot where we need to leave the city. That will be kind of low-level monsters, if I remember correctly. So we are back in here. That's okay. So it seems like there is another exit. We can exit to the north in here. I know this as well. If you remember at the beginning, I was telling you that that I play for a few hours on PC. So there is a fight in here, but if you move back, the soldiers will join, and it's kinda a fight that gives you a good amount of XP, but you don't really need to do much. We can as well talk to this dude. He wanted to meet with us, so so let's maybe do that. Oh, but before I do, I actually will go and pick up our last companion. And steal some stuff in here. How you doing?
Source hunter! Oh, what a sight for sore Sicilian eyes! Me? I live alone here in town. Used to be that my younger brother Tom and I were practically joined at the hip, but that's all changed now.
Okay, what happened to your brother Tom?
Oh, he's always been something of a rascal, calling his petty hooliganism adventuring and endlessly worrying my poor mind. Oh, but of course, I've always loved that scamp to bits.
Right.
For my part, I encouraged him to join the Legion. Even got him sparring with Captain Aureus now and then. But then those blasted Fabulous Five came into town. That band of... I don't even know what to call them. Well, they're his heroes, and I simply couldn't prevent him from going to see them. That one meeting was all it took for Tom to run off with them on some mission to God knows where.
Alright. Okay, there is a lot of stuff in here. We need to talk to that cat.
Oh, golly gosh! One who flaunts the highways and byways of silly old Cecil with the easy elegance of a puss with her tail in the air. I do declare such a sight is rather rare around here.
If you remember, we talked to that cat in a tavern, and he was in love with Maxine. So let's chat about that.
Manners? I am Maxine, and you must be one of those hunters one hears so much about. Charmed, I'm sure.
Alright, let's talk about Unsinkable Sam.
Oh, he's a darling old Tom, isn't he? Paws over tails in love with me, and who can blame him? The feeling's, well, it's rather mutual, actually. But that pet of a puss simply doesn't have a penny to his name. At the risk of sounding as shallow as a spaniel, I can't but admit my love does not come unconditionally. What if we were to have kittens, he and I? They'd jolly well starve, wouldn't they, with an alley cat for a papa? Oh dear Sam, he's such a good old bean. But he does rather reside at the bottom of the scratching pole, doesn't he? And dear me, one must have at least a mite of standards.
Alright. Tell me a bit more about yourself.
I'm the mayor's cat, don't you know? Born and raised on velvets and viands of most exquisite varieties. Maxine rhymes with queen, after all, and dearest. That is hardly a coincidence.
Alright, let's ask some more
But
questions.
of course, darling. Be my guest.
Tell me about Cecil.
Oh, this quaint little town is a tad too parochial for one of my more urbane tastes. But one has to make do, hasn't one? The fresh sea air does go to great lengths to invigorate one's spirit, that much I'll admit. And it is rather jolly to watch the ships sail in laden with all kinds of exotic wares, full of the little treats the mayor likes to spoil me with. Darling man, he dotes on me so.
Don't you fear the undead?
Heavens forbid! No, fear is rather too strong a term there, Hunter dearest. The predator's instinct is a trait we share, you and I. And though those rancid ramblers may not be quite as easy to put to the claw as mice are, I assure you, they are just as easily outwitted.
Alright. So we need to chat with Mayor Cecil.
What? Oh, it's you. Come closer then. Closer, huh? My ears aren't what they used to be. Nor my eyes, for that matter. Yes, hello, Source Hunter. Our city welcomes you.
Alright, tell me about yourself.
My elf? What elf? Oh, myself. I am Cecil, Mayor of Cecil, and husband of the stately Cecilia. I've been the mayor here for decades, and I'm quite eager to see Cecil through these difficult times. Yes, very difficult times indeed.
Alright, tell me about the issues in Cecil.
Oh, what? Oh, you mean Cecil? Very difficult times indeed. As though the death of Jake, and by source magic no less, weren't enough. We're also facing all sorts of brutish intruders. The undead have overrun all but one northern trade route, while the orcs are making a habit of savaging our beaches. That's not to mention that at the top of this whole caboodle, there's rumors of some new religious sect or cult or some such sticking its tendrils into the innocent, seven-fearing folks of Cecil. And, while we're on the subject of troubles, I myself have a private matter I'd like to bring to your attention. It involves a magic relic I rather foolishly sought. A weapon called the Staff of Pergamon.
What's this about the Staff of Pergamon?
What of what now? Oh, you're speaking gibberish. Ah, you mean the Staff of Pergamon. Yes, yes. I was expecting a shipment of weapons, and among the cargo was this very powerful, very rare staff. I managed to place the order through means somewhat, atypical to a government official. Cecil proved an old fool, though, for the merchant slated to deliver it to me has just informed me that the damn thing has gone missing. I fear it may have fallen into the wrong hands, and I wonder if you could retrieve it for me.
Tell me more about the merchant.
His name is Conrad, captain of the Tide Splitter, a merchant ship still docked at the Cecil harbor. You can talk to him if you think it'd help, but I'd quite like to avoid getting the Legion involved, if you don't mind.
What do you know about the staff itself?
The staff itself contains a shard of an ore, highly valued for its use in the weapons of war. I know use of the material to be forbidden, but I was desperate to do something to aid the townsfolk against the undead.
Alright, let's talk about Jake's murder.
Jake? Murdered? Oh, yes. Yes, now I recall. Indeed. I could hardly believe it myself. The Council and I have certainly had our differences over the years, but old squabbles evaporate under such circumstances. Most of the townsfolk are certain Jake's wife Esmeralda is responsible. In fact, the Legion have taken her into protective custody to keep her safe from the mob. As you can imagine, I've known Esmeralda for years. That business between her and the Duke of Ferrol was always a bit suggestive. But I've never had cause to suspect her of violence. Still, one never knows for sure.
Alright, tell me about the Duke of Ferrol.
An all right bloke, apart from all this Esmeralda nonsense. The whole town knows the only goal of his business trips to Cecil is to spend a night or two at the King Crab Inn with Mrs. Counselor.
Tell me more about the undead in Cecil.
What? The undead? Yes, for the past 2 years those blasted skeletons have all but suffocated this city. With all but one trade route overrun, Cecil's once torrential commerce has slowed to a pathetic trickle.
Can you tell me more about Rivalon's secret sects? Sorry.
Well, I do believe that's something your parents ought to have discussed with you long ago, Source Hunter. But I suppose if you really don't know, I'd be remiss if I didn't at least explain the basics. Ah, you see, when a lady and a fellow find each other rather nice, well, rather more than nice, they occasionally, well, they... Oh, this is nonsense. I'm the mayor for the 7th sake. I can't be bothered to chat all day about the birds and the bees when Cecil's under siege by orcs, undead, and cultists.
Okay, can you tell me more about your library?
That depends. What kind of berries are you interested in exactly? Ah, the library. Yes, yes, you must have a visit. It's the gem of Cecil. Would you like to have a look? I'll escort you upstairs myself.
Sure, sounds interesting.
Marvelous. Follow me then.
Okay, so that's actually great because he leaves.
Source. To the gallows, I say.
And we can...
The gallows? Well, I've heard of such a thing, but I've never seen one myself. I don't think I care to either.
Damn, there was a key there.
The 7 grant abundance.
Hope the wife won't show up. Ooh, a nice chest. Okay. That was good, so I'm just gonna save again. Because I think she can... She can get downstairs. Okay, bathroom is locked, but there is a good amount of paintings, and the paintings are always good. Okay, golden knife, golden fork, red apple. Alright, that was a ham there.
Appears to be locked.
Okay. Oh, there is a key here. And a desk with money, perfect. Maybe that's the key for the... Perfect. For the chest. Okay, we're gonna go outside. Okay, can I talk with him?
What? Oh, it's you! What news?
Okay, I've joined Fabulous 5. Let's discuss the assignment they gave me.
Oh yes, the Fabulous 5. Aren't they simply fantastic? I'm sure they'll get the job done in no time, especially with your expert hand lent to their cause. That machine Ahu built is an abomination. It must be stopped at all costs. I bet the wizard himself could provide some advice regarding how to destroy it. He's the mad scientist who crafted it after all.
Alright, you've been named as a suspect in Jake's murder case.
Jake? Murdered, you say? Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Now I remember. Well, I'm sure the facts will prove me innocent.
That's the
Keep
same.
investigating. You'll see for yourselves.
The last one. I met your pet.
Maxine? What in heaven's name are you? Oh, you mean the mongrel that's always skulking about the place. I spent months trying to teach that worthless hound how to fetch, and it sat through every lesson looking at me as if I were an idiot. Man's best friend, my eye. I've always been more fond of cats myself.
Alright, I'll take my leave. I think I managed to steal everything. Maybe some small things there, but that's fine. Okay, great. Guys, we're gonna take a break in here, and we're gonna go upstairs to meet our last companion. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.